In just 1 year, AI-driven companies have, well, exploded. They've pushed the whole cloud industry to a staggering $1.1 trillion valuation. It's really an unprecedented surge. What's actually powering this incredible momentum beat?
That is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? And it's exactly what we're diving into today. Welcome, everyone, to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack the most compelling stuff from the latest tech news and research. Our mission, like always, is to connect the dots for you. We've got this fascinating newsletter just packed with surprising insights to how fast AI is accelerating. So we're going to explore the monumental growth of AI businesses. We'll touch on some really cutting-edge innovations, but also some urgent ethical discussions. Then we'll look at practical ways you can engage with AI, and finally zoom out a bit to the global race for AI supremacy. It's quite a journey. Should be really informative.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The brand new 2025 Cloud 100 benchmark report just dropped. And it's not just another data dump, is it? It's painting this picture where AI isn't just, a player in the cloud. It's becoming the new baseline for success, almost the definition of what it means to lead now.
Absolutely. What we're seeing is this phenomenon, cloud tech plus AI. It's combining to create this massive $1.1 trillion in private company value. That's a 36% leap, just year over year. And it's driven almost entirely by companies that are AI native, built that way from the ground up. This report is the Cloud 100's 10th birthday, actually, and it shows records being smashed across the board. Get this, 22 AI companies made the list this year. Their collective category value, $464 billion. Yeah, and that's up from $176 billion just last year.
It's wild.
It's wild. And when you look at the top 10 companies on the list, their total value hits $598 billion. OpenAI is leading the pack, estimated $300 billion. Anthropic, the Claude folks, not far behind. And importantly, these aren't just like speculative unicorns. Most of these Cloud 100 companies are at or near $100 million in annual recurring revenue.
That's stable income.
Exactly, that consistent, predictable income. It's the bedrock. It's almost like they've got rocket boosters on their balance sheets, soft laugh. These AI companies, they're hitting that $100 million ARR mark in just 5.7 years on average.
5.7 years.
Yeah, that's a full year faster than last year's average.
Yeah.
And nearly 2 years faster than other cloud startups. The acceleration is just, well, it's incredible.
It really highlights an almost unbelievable pace of growth. And with that kind of rapid expansion, the scramble for top talent must be absolutely intense. What are we seeing on that front?
Intense barely covers it. Seriously. We've seen reports of Meta acquihiring Scale AI for a staggering $14 billion. And just so everyone's clear, acquihiring is when you buy a company mainly for its people, its talent, not so much its products.
Really underscores the desperation.
Totally. It shows just how desperate that scramble for top AI talent really is. You hear about founders poaching top researchers from each other, like weekly, and the compensation. For some of these top AI engineers, we're talking 9-figure deals.
9-figure.
Yeah, it's a completely different ballgame. A talent war unlike anything we've seen recently in tech.
What strikes me here is how quickly AI itself has evolved. Back in 2023, it felt more like a useful feature, something added on to existing products. Then, 2024, it really carved out its own category. And now, in 2025, it's not just a category. It seems like it's becoming the very definition of cloud success. It's driving the whole market.
And you really see that reflected in the market data, too. Even though multiples, that's how investors value a company compared to its revenue, even though they're compressing a bit overall, AI companies still command this higher premium. We're looking at 24 times valuation versus maybe 19 times for non-AI companies.
Still a significant gap.
Huge gap. These Cloud 100 firms, they're scaling faster, raising bigger capital rounds than ever. But here's the kicker, right? This entire wave, all this innovation and wealth, it's being powered by what the report calls the 1%. 1%. There's a really serious shortage of these absolutely crucial individuals, these top-tier AI engineers and researchers.
So when we put all this together, the huge valuations, this intense talent war, the reliance on a tiny fraction of experts, what's the broader ripple effect? What does this mean for the whole tech landscape? Is it just a cloud boom, or is something more fundamental changing about innovation itself?
Oh, it's absolutely fundamental. This rapid growth isn't just big numbers. It's accelerating innovation, yes, but also creating almost unsustainable competition for that top talent.
Right, which has downstream effects.
Exactly. Effects on diversity, on smaller players trying to compete. It's reshaping things significantly.
That said, these incredible financial figures often overshadow another critical piece of the AI story, the daily innovations, and the really urgent ethical questions they spark. So this is where it gets really interesting, I think. What's standing out to you on both sides of that coin lately?
Yeah, it's a real mix, isn't it? On the innovation side, we're seeing some wild new stuff. Like a user actually built this thing called a nano banana powered browser. Apparently, it generates real websites just from a URL.
Wow, generates the site.
Yeah, and you can even navigate within the generated site. Imagine that power creating digital spaces on the fly. Super interesting. Google also just dropped big updates for VO3, their video generation AI. Now it offers vertical format outputs. 9.16 for mobile plus 1080p HD and new lower pricing for generating video, making it more accessible. Then there's Higgsfield AI. They unveiled something called Ads 2.0. It's a new tool that claims, and this is a big claim, it can replace entire production, marketing, and creative teams for product placement in ads.
Replace entire teams. That's disruptive.
It's hugely disruptive if it delivers. And in music, personalization is getting smarter too. Spotify launched their AI DJ. Amazon Music just dropped Weekly Vibe. That gives you a fresh playlist every Monday based on your mood and listening habits, even has social features. It's like having a personal music curator who actually gets you. Pretty neat.
Those are some really cool innovations pushing boundaries and creativity, efficiency. But then on the other side, there are some deeply concerning ethical issues surfacing. Meta, for instance, is facing serious allegations. They're accused of ignoring a clear warning about banning their AI chatbots for teens. This came after reports of harmful chats with minors. It really raises that crucial question about responsibility, doesn't it? Especially with vulnerable users.
It absolutely does.
And it's not just inside tech companies. We're seeing two hunger strikes happening right now outside major AI labs, one at Anthropic, another at Google DeepMind. These individuals are advocating to completely stop the development of more powerful AIs. They believe the risks are just too great, that we're moving way too fast.
Seeing those headlines, I have to admit, I still wrestle sometimes with just how quickly these technologies are advancing. It often feels faster than our collective ability to really grasp their full impact. It's something I think about a lot.
That's a very relatable admission. I think many feel that way.
And amidst all this, the money keeps flowing, right? ASML, the big chip equipment maker, they just invested $1.5 billion in Mistral AI's latest round.
Mistral, the European player.
That's right. Made ASML their top shareholder. This pushed Mistral to an $11.7 billion valuation, makes it Europe's most valuable AI startup. So the investments continue, full steam ahead, even with these big ethical questions hanging in the air.
So we've got these astounding innovations pushing forward, but then these stark ethical red flags, the meta situation, the hunger strikes calling for a halt. It feels like we're caught between this massive accelerator and maybe a faulty brake pedal. What's the real core tension here? How do we navigate this?
That's a great analogy. The core tension is precisely that. The move fast and break things drive for innovation versus the urgent, often slower need for responsible development and real ethical safeguards. Balancing progress with safety is critical.
Okay, moving from that big picture of industry and ethics, let's zoom in a bit. Let's look at how people are actually building with AI and even how they're making careers out of it now. It's becoming surprisingly accessible, which seems like a good thing for many.
Absolutely. It's not just the giant labs anymore. There are new guides popping up, for instance, showing how you can build multi-agent swarm AI systems using tools like N8N, that's a popular open source workflow automation tool. These swarm systems can do more than just one task. They can create stuff, research things, publish media, all working together automatically. It's kind of like stacking Lego blocks of beta. You connect these different AI capabilities to build something powerful and complex.
The Lego blocks analogy, I like that. Makes it feel more graspable.
Yeah. And for people who aren't deep coders, there's even a guide claiming you can build your first real AI in like 26 minutes with zero code using N8N again. It just shows how powerful these low-code and no-code platforms are becoming for AI, really democratizing the building process.
That is fascinating. And for people thinking about careers, there's advice circulating on becoming a high-value AI consultant. Interestingly, it suggests starting as a freelancer first. Build up your expertise, get a portfolio, then maybe think about an agency. Rather than jumping straight in, focus on practical skills.
Makes sense. Build credibility first. And some quick hits that caught my eye. Google's AI mode just added 5 new languages, including Hindi. That's huge for accessibility globally.
Definitely.
Sam Altman from OpenAI made this comment about bots making social media feel fake. A subtle point, but it touches on that erosion of trust in our digital spaces. And the legal battles are heating up. Authors suing Apple over using pirated books for training, Anthropic settling a similar suit for over $1.5 billion.
Yeah, the copyright issue isn't going away.
Not at all. Huge financial stakes there. And finally, OpenAI announced OAI Labs. It's a new division just focused on inventing new interfaces for AI, how we interact with it. That could be revolutionary.
So, with all this potential for building, but also these clear ethical and legal minefields, how can individuals, maybe listeners thinking about getting involved, navigate both sides, the building and the concerns?
Focus on ethical use, understand the tools limits, basically learn proactively and apply responsibly. That's key for individual builders navigating this space.
Okay, let's connect this back to the bigger picture again. The global competition in AI, it's heating up intensely. And China just made a really significant move, one that could redefine the race.
Indeed. Alibaba, they just released Qwen 3 Max Preview. This is their biggest AI model yet. And significantly, it's the company's first model to officially cross the 1 trillion parameter mark. Whoa. Just imagine scaling a model to 1 trillion parameters.
It's hard to even conceptualize.
Right. Think of it like a brain with 1 trillion connections it can adjust to learn. More parameters generally mean more power, more nuance, but also way more complexity and cost to train. This officially puts Alibaba in the same weight class, you could say, as the big models we know, like OpenAI's GPT 4.5 or Anthropic's Claude Opus. For now, it's text only. But they mentioned a thinking version is planned, which suggests more advanced reasoning is coming down the pipe. One thing to note, though, is the cost. It's pretty expensive to use, about 0.86 per million input tokens and over 3.46 per million output tokens. That's roughly 3 times pricier than their previous big model, and even higher than some rivals. It shows the massive compute resources needed.
And despite that cost, Alibaba is making some big performance claims. Right, they're saying Qwen 3 Max significantly outperforms their own previous model, and also competitors like Moonshot's Kimi, DeepSeek V3.1, even Claude Opus 4, the non-reasoning version anyway. Better instruction following, handling subjective tasks, using tools. These sound like substantial improvements.
They are big claims. And, it's important context. A full technical report isn't out yet, so we're still waiting for independent benchmarks to really verify all this.
Right, need that third-party validation.
Exactly. But Alibaba's goal here is crystal clear. They want to show the world they can match the U.S. labs in sheer model size and capability. Even if, reports suggest OpenAI's GPT 4.5 might still be larger, maybe 5 to 7 trillion parameters, this is a serious statement of intent from China on the global AI stage.
So what does this new, powerful, albeit expensive model from Alibaba signify for the global AI race and for accessibility?
It marks Alibaba as a major contender, pushing AI scale. But its cost also flags that ongoing challenge, making top-tier AI broadly accessible, not just for big players.
Okay, let's try to pull this all together. What does this all mean? We've seen AI isn't just some passing trend. It's rapidly redefining entire industries, creating massive wealth, fundamentally shifting how businesses operate.
Yeah, it's really that double-edged sword we talked about. On one hand, incredible innovation. Clever browsers, personalized music, tools claiming huge efficiency gains. But on the other hand, these urgent calls for ethical responsibility, serious legal challenges over data and copyright, concerns about vulnerable users.
And the race for bigger, more capable AI models is clearly global now, fiercely competitive, with players like Alibaba showing they're pouring immense resources in, serious about competing at the absolute highest level.
It's just a truly dynamic landscape, moving faster, it feels like, than ever before, constantly challenging us to keep up, keep learning.
That speed of development really does challenge us. To continuously learn, adapt, we have to consider not just what AI can do, but maybe more importantly, how we want it to shape our world. 2-sec silence. So here's something to think about. How do you think we effectively balance that intense desire for rapid innovation with the crucial, undeniable need for ethical safeguards?
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive today. Keep asking questions, keep exploring the implications. Until next time, stay curious. Out to your own music.